Railways Minister Piyush Goyal appeals to all states to cooperate with railways for smooth transportation of migrant workers. Says railways successfully runs 3,000 special trains to carry migrant workers to their home states. Bookings begin for 100 new pairs to be run from the 1st of June. Domestic flight operations begin from today. Over 80 cancellations at Delhi Airport, 20 in Bengaluru. Limited flight operations for Andhra Pradesh from 26th and West Bengal from the 28th of this month. Supreme Court allows Air India to operate without leaving middle seat vacant till the 6th of June. Post this, the country's national carrier will have to comply with the Bombay High Court order for keeping the middle seat vacant in flights used to bring back stranded Indians from abroad. Health Ministry issues guidelines for international arrivals at air, land and sea ports, mandates a 14-day quarantine with 7 days of institutional quarantine followed by 7 days of home isolation. Also issues guidelines for domestic travel. Two terrorists eliminated in an encounter in Mazgam area of Kulgam district in Jammu and Kashmir. 34 Rashtriya Rifles, Central Reserve Police Force and Kulgam Police carried out the joint anti-terrorist operation. Supreme Court allows Air India to operate without leaving middle seat vacant till the 6th of June. Hello and welcome. You're watching DD News and DD India with me, Munman Bhattacharya. Our top story, and first up is a look at the COVID impact on India. Active COVID-19 cases across the country rise to 77,103 with 57,720 recoveries and 4,021 fatalities. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Delhi continue to be the worst affected states in the country. Indian Railways has successfully operated over 3,000 Shramik special trains to send migrant workers stranded in different parts of the country to their home states, and over 40 lakh migrant workers have been ferried to different parts of the country. Giving the information, Railways Minister Piyush Goyal urged states to cooperate with his ministry to help the workers. Ministry of Railways also informed that it will operate 2,600 Shramik special trains over the next 10 days. It hopes to ferry 36 lakh migrant labour. Indian Railways has produced 1.2 lakh overalls of PPEs, 1.4 lakh litres sanitizers and 20 lakhs of reusable face masks or covers following the lockdown. And IRCTC and Railways have also mobilized resources to ensure regular supply of meals and water to the Shramik special trains and minimize inconvenience to passengers. Indian skies opened up for domestic passenger services from today after a gap of 2 months. Flights resumed operations from many airports early in the morning, including from Delhi, Pune and Mumbai in Maharashtra, Ahmedabad in Gujarat, Bhubaneswar Airport in Odisha and Chennai Airport in Tamil Nadu. Passengers expressed happiness on returning home. They added that all precautionary measures are being taken to ensure safety of passengers. All scheduled commercial passenger flights have been suspended since the 25th of March when the government imposed a nationwide lockdown to curb coronavirus pandemic. Government has also given states the power to develop their own protocol with regards to quarantine and isolation as per their assessment. It was announced last Thursday that 1/3 of pre-lockdown domestic flights will operate from Monday. All international scheduled commercial passenger flights remain suspended.
सिचुएशन बेटर है और प्रिकॉशनरी तरीके से चीज़ें सारी मेंटेन हो रही हैं एंड पॉसिबली एवरी काइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट जितने हैं सभी के लिए राहत है कि हमें जाने को मिल रहा है ना, जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मे बी प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, चाहे वो 2-3 साल से जॉब कर रहे हैं एंड अच्छे तरीके से सारे काम हो रहे हैं एयरपोर्ट पर। आई कैन सी दैट।
ये अच्छा लग रहा है। 2 महीने से दिल्ली में फंसे हुए थे और अभी जाने का मौका मिल रहा है तो बहुत खुशी हो रही है। 3 घंटे पहले पहुंचना है एयरपोर्ट, मिनिमम 2 घंटे और मैक्सिमम 4 घंटे, और एक कैब में 2 लोग से ज़्यादा अलाउ नहीं हुए, तो मैं अकेला कैब करके आया हूँ यहाँ पे।
19 flights have departed and 16 arrivals as per schedule at Chennai airport today, and the number of incoming passenger flights to Chennai is restricted to 25 per day. Passengers at the Chennai International Airport observe social distancing. Besides that, the authorities will ensure touch-free flying experience for passengers. Well, domestic passenger flight operations have resumed across the country, and in the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir, passenger flight services have started in Srinagar International Airport. All arrangements have been put in place for sample collection and transportation of passengers to the quarantine facilities. Badgam Deputy Commissioner Tariq Hussain Ganai said that coronavirus testing will be done for all inbound passengers, while they have to go compulsory quarantine as per the guidelines.
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ यूटी ऑफ जे.एंड.के का ये फैसला है कि जो भी इनबाउंड पैसेंजर्स होंगे उन सब की टेस्टिंग होगी। किसी भी हिस्से से आ रहे हो, किसी भी मुल्क के हिस्से से आ रहे हो या बाहर से आ रहे हो, एक्सेप्ट जम्मू, उनकी टेस्टिंग होगी यहाँ। उसके बाद वो क्वारंटीन में जाएंगे और जब तक उनका रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा तब तक वो क्वारंटीन में रहेंगे। जब उनका रिजल्ट आएगा, नेगेटिव होगा तो वो होम क्वारंटीन के लिए जाएंगे, पॉजिटिव होगा तो वो फिर आइसोलेशन में जाएंगे।
And for more on the flight operations, we are joined by our correspondent Nandita Dagar. Nandita, there's news coming in on some flight cancellations as well. Bring us up to speed with that.
Yes, Moon, you are right. More than 80 or approximately 80 flights have been cancelled, and these cancellations include primarily the states of West Bengal, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. What has happened is that although since last night airlines began a feverish activity, and as you know, the Delhi airport is one of the busiest airports, not just in the country but also in Asia. At least it was until 2 months back when flights were stopped or halted or suspended because of the COVID pandemic. And now, since the Civil Aviation Ministry, according to Prime Minister Modi's call for Jahan Bhi, has started this flights, domestic operations, and from Delhi airport about 118 flights have departed, have arrived, and 125 have departed, yet there have been 80 cancellations. Most of these cancellations because in the states of West Bengal, it is still reeling from the cyclone Amphan. Also, since it is registering a very high rate of cases, the airports such as Calcutta and Bagdogra, they will begin operations from 28th. So for 2 days, they will. Today is 25th. 26th and 27th, they will still remain. They will still remain suspended, these operations, and therefore these flights to West Bengal, Calcutta and Bagdogra were cancelled from the Delhi airport. Also, flights which were outgoing to Tamil Nadu, which has restricted the number of flights, incoming flights, up only till 25 per day, they have been cancelled. So yes, obviously the passengers are facing due to this confusion a little bit of inconvenience, but most of them are very happy. Whoever we talked to was very happy that at least they got a chance to move to the places they wanted to. Either they were stranded here or wanting to go to their hometowns, or they were on work and they were stranded here because of the lockdown, which lasted for more than a month, more than 1.5 months. And despite that, they are also following the strict instructions, like downloading the Arogya Setu app. Some of them have self-certified certificates. They are also following stringent protocols such as web check-in, no check-in on the counter for any airline at the Delhi airport or for any airport for that matter. Moon?
Tell us about some more safeguards that may have been put in place at the Delhi airport. For instance, there's touch-free travel that is being ensured, isn't it?
Yes, Moon, I would ask my camera person to show you this Delhi airport. This is the Delhi airport, and normally if you come to the Delhi airport before the corona pandemic, you would have found this chock-a-block. The rows of cars over here would have been one bumper to the other, and the kiosks, the food stalls, they are all closed inside the terminal. Outside you have only kiosks selling snacks. There are several dispensers or automatic sprays of hand wash and hand sanitizer counters which are available. People can avail of them. Also, the airport staff has been sensitized in the sense that they've been asked to maintain social distance. Personal protective equipment, that is gowns, gloves, masks, face shields, have been provided not just to the cabin crew but also the ground staff, people who are handling the baggage. Each passenger is allowed only one baggage check-in, one baggage as hand luggage. Also, there are some changes in the rules that we would like to tell our viewers that passengers must report to the airport at least 2 hours prior to their takeoff time because 60 minutes is the time before 60 minutes before takeoff is when the boarding is beginning. And of course, they must have their web check-ins and their Arogya Setu apps installed or their certificate of COVID-free status also with them in case they do not have the Arogya Setu app. Yes, Moon?
Well, thanks, Nandita, for those updates from the IGI airport in Delhi. And now our correspondent Mridu Smita is joining us from Guwahati. Mridu Smita, what update do you have on the flight operations in Guwahati so far?
Yes, Moon. Actually, since early morning so far, more than 8 flights have already arrived and a few flights have already departed from Guwahati airport here. Since 25 flights are supposed to be attended by the airport authority in Guwahati, however, today only 16 flights are inbound and outbound so far because few flights from Kolkata and Agartala have been cancelled. And however, the passengers who have arrived in the state, they are quite happy to start with, as the domestic flights have all started today, since they have been stranded in various parts of the country and since due to the lockdown in the last 2 months. However, as expected, almost 600 passengers are expected, according to the airport authority earlier when I had talked with the director of the Guwahati airport earlier. And he has also informed us that in the coming days, after the Kolkata airport resumes its flights, more passengers will be attended here, like they are expecting more than 1,000 passengers here in Guwahati. And here, since the SOP has been given out by the Assam government yesterday, that quarantine facility will be available in Guwahati and various other districts of Assam. And people who are like from the different districts, first they will have to be quarantined in the quarantine facility and they will be screened there. And if they in the facility they will be quarantined for 7 days mandatory. And if they are found negative after the screening, then they will be given out. They are allowed to go out from for their home quarantine facility. And every precautionary measures are taken by the airport authority for screening the passengers and providing them the various mandatory things like masks, then face shield, and in fact sanitizers are also provided to the passengers in the flight. And earlier when I had talked with the passengers, few passengers were disappointed. In fact, they were, because their flights for Agartala was cancelled due to the Amphan cyclone, because of which the airport Agartala and Kolkata airport is not functioning right now, and so people are a little bit disappointed because of that also, and they are not able to go to their respective states. Since Guwahati is the gateway to the other northeastern states, it was difficult for such passengers who could not go to their respective states today, because Agartala airport hasn't resumed their flights yet. So, however, only Imphal and Delhi bound flights are resuming here in Guwahati from today itself. Munmun.
Right, Mridusunda, thank you for those details from Guwahati. Well, the Supreme Court has allowed Air India to operate its non-scheduled international flights with middle seats booked for the next 10 days. After 10 days, Air India shall operate in accordance with Bombay High Court's further order. SCA demands the matter back to Bombay High Court with a request to pass an effective interim order. Earlier, the Bombay High Court had directed Air India that the middle row seats cannot be booked in non-scheduled international flights. Well, many Indians stranded overseas continue to be repatriated as part of the Vande Bharat mission, and more than 30,000 stranded Indians on Vande Bharat flights since the 6th of May have been repatriated. Yesterday, 680 more people have returned on 3 flights from Toronto, Singapore and London. First Air India flight from Sri Lanka under Vande Bharat mission will take off for Mumbai on Friday, and the Indian Navy ship INS Jalashwa will sail from Colombo next Monday, bringing back around 700 Indian nationals to Tuticorin. This will be the first voyage of ship from Sri Lanka as part of Operation Samudra Setu.
The first in the effort, first in the series of repatriation of Indian nationals, a flight of little more than 160 passengers. We are working on 29th May. This flight will carry passengers from Colombo to Mumbai, and this will be the first air bridge that we will establish for repatriation of stranded Indian nationals from Colombo. At the same time, we are also looking at the sea bridge, which is Samudra Setu, as you know, within Vande Bharat mission. The Indian Navy has been pitching in with naval vessels which have brought Indians back from, for example, from other neighboring countries. So on the 1st of June, we are scheduling the return of about up to 700 Indians in that ship INS Jalashwa from Colombo to Tuticorin in India.
Locust swarms from Pakistan have entered Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana and Madhya Pradesh, threatening major damage to standing cotton crops and vegetables. Rajasthan is the most affected state, with locusts now entering Jaipur city too. They have already destroyed crops in 8 districts of the state. During the current year, the swarm of locusts have entered India earlier than the normal time of June and July. Besides that, states are adopting various means for controlling the swarms of locusts. After wreaking havoc and destroying crops and trees in several parts of Rajasthan, the desert locusts have entered many districts of Madhya Pradesh, including Chehor, Malwa, Nimar and Mandsaur, besides others. The farmers also advised to keep continuous vigil to keep the insects at bay by using loud sounds through drums, banging of utensils and shouting.
हम लोग लगातार किसानों के माध्यम से और जो हमारी टीम है उनके माध्यम से उनको लोकेट कर रहे हैं, और जहां कहीं भी वो उतरने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तो जो ट्रेडिशनल तरीके हैं और जो इंस्ट्रूमेंटल तरीके हैं उसका इस्तेमाल करके उनको उड़ा रहे हैं। चूँकि बहुत ज़्यादा फसल नहीं है अभी फील्ड में, तो ज़्यादा नुकसान नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन कुछ इलाकों में जहाँ संतरे के पौधे हैं वहाँ पत्तों के खाने की या कुछ जगह वेजिटेबल के खाने की बातें सामने आई हैं, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान नहीं है।
Uttar Pradesh too is facing a massive locust attack. In Jhansi district, swarm of locusts are eating away at trees and crops. The Jhansi district administration has directed the fire brigade to keep its vehicle ready with chemicals following a sudden movement by a swarm of locusts. According to reports, 17 districts of the state are expected to be affected.
जो नुकसान है कि जैसे भिंडी है और टिंडे है, करेला है, टमाटर है, बैगन है, इनको नुकसान है जी। टिड्डी से फसल को बिल्कुल बर्बाद कर देती है जी।
टिड्डी दल से जी नुकसान होता है कि खेत के जो फसल लगी हुई होती है, जैसे कि जोड़ई लगी खेत में, ज्वार, बाजरा और उड़दा है तुम्हारे, तो इनकी पत्ते खा लेता है जी। तो फसल के पत्ते खा लेता है तो जानवरों को फिर नुकसान पहुंचाता है जी।
तुरैया खा जाती, भिंडी खा जाती, तो वो का खीरा खा जाती है, लौकी है, करेला है, भिंडी है, सब कछु है, धना है वो भी खा जाती है।
And our correspondent Vishal Baristo is now joining us on the phone line for more on this. Vishal, what's the extent of damage that has been caused already in a state like Rajasthan from these swarms of locusts that have come in from Pakistan?
Well, Manmohan, this is the first time that this swarm has reached, in fact, made such a dent in the state, because every year the swarm crosses Pakistan and enters Rajasthan, but it is mostly the western part. But this time it has reached Jaipur today, and swarms were witnessed in different parts of the city. And not only this, reports are coming in, and according to the sources, the swarms have crossed the limits of Rajasthan and entered Madhya Pradesh as well. As far as the damage is concerned, thankfully, because the crops have been harvested, so it is only the vegetables that have been attacked by these swarms. And 800 tractors have been pressed into service through NDRF, and the Chief Minister is constantly in touch with the center, and the center is giving all support. Both traditional and mechanical ways have been put into service, but this is quite shocking that such an attack has taken place, and that too so deep in the country, because earlier it was always the western part that was affected, and that includes the areas of Jaisalmer and Barmer.
Vishal, if you've spoken to the farmers there, what kind of support are they demanding at this stage? Because some measures are already being taken, like drum beats and clanging of utensils, etc. But what more support do these farmers require in order to deal with this problem?
Well, Munmun, the Chief Minister has had a meeting, a high-level meeting twice on this issue. But so far it is, first they have to analyze the amount of damage done, then only a report would be sent, and then only the farmers could be given proper compensation. But let me tell you that the farmers are a scared lot, because already their crop is not reaching the market because of the coronavirus, and then these swarms of locusts that have attacked their vegetables. So it is being a very bad situation for the farmers. But shortly, the state government, the Chief Minister has asked the local administration at the district level to prepare a report so that the compensation could be given. But so far, it has to be analyzed first, that what is the extent of damage, and then only it would be given to the farmers.
Vishal, like you are telling us, this is not the first time that the swarm attack has happened. This happens annually, though this time it's happened a little ahead of schedule. And what are the lessons that may have been learned from this so far? And is any corrective action being planned on the basis of those lessons that may have been learned?
I think if I would say it would appear to be quite comical, because the swarms have appeared to be become quite smart, because every year they cross the Rajasthan border from Pakistan, and there have been the locust control rooms there in Jodhpur especially. But let me tell you that this is the first time that people are witnessing. In fact, today in Jaipur, I witnessed the swarm attack at different parts of the city, and it was quite an unusual sight, because I have never witnessed this kind of situation in my life, and it was very unusual for the people of the city as well. So the administration will have to come up with some kind of measure, because the traditional measures of beating the utensils is not working out, and it has been going on for quite some time in the western part of the state. And as I told you that it happens every year, this time also it was going on for some time, but now it has crossed Jaipur, and through Savai Madhopur it has entered Madhya Pradesh. So definitely we need to come out with some kind of mechanism to control the swarm attack that takes place every year. Thankfully, as I told you, that the harvest has already taken place, so it is mostly the vegetables that are being attacked.
Right. Thank you so much, Vishal Barista, for having joined us from Jaipur. That's it then in this edition of the news. Up next is Doctor Speak, where you can call us and ask your medical queries with regard to COVID-19 on numbers that will be flashing on your screens. You can also ask your questions on our Twitter pages as well as on our Facebook page. We'll see you in a short while from now. Stay tuned for that.